Welcome to this piano lesson video. In this video, I'm going to teach you about major and minor chords. We're going to talk about how do we build major and minor chords using half steps, and how do we tell the difference between a major chord and a minor chord. Major chords and minor chords are built from patterns, just like scales are built from patterns. The previous lesson, we learned the major scale pattern using a pattern of whole steps and half steps. Now, we're going to learn how to create patterns to build major and minor chords. We're going to make chord patterns using half steps. So one of the first chords, if not the first chord that most piano players will learn when they first start, is the C major chord. We have a bottom note under my thumb, a middle note under my third finger, and a top note underneath my fifth finger. Or we could just call it 1, 3, and 5. So let's take a look at the distance in half steps between the first note and the third note. From C to E is 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps. Now from the third note to the fifth note, 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 half steps between the third and the fifth note. So it goes 4 half steps on the bottom, 3 half steps on the top. That is the pattern for a major chord. And just like the major scale pattern, we can start our first note on any note. Maybe we start on the note E instead. So we go up 4 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get the note G sharp, and then we go up 3 more half steps, 1, 2, 3, and that gives us the note B. So E, G sharp, and B. These are the notes of an E major chord. All major chords are going to be built from that same pattern of half steps. 4 half steps between the bottom 2 notes, 3 half steps between the top 2 notes. Minor chords are very similar. There's only one thing that we have to change to make a minor chord. Let's make our C major chord again. To make a minor chord out of this, all we have to do is take the third note, my third finger, and I move it down 1 half step. Now let's look at the pattern of half steps that create a minor chord. So between the first and third note is from C, 1, 2, 3, E flat. See how we got there? We started from a major chord, moved the middle note down a half step, and then we counted the half steps, 1, 2, 3. And then the G is still there. So we go up 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 half steps from E flat to G. It's exactly the opposite pattern of half steps from a major chord to a minor chord. A major chord is 4 half steps and then 3 half steps, and a minor chord is 3 half steps and then 4 half steps. Now let's make a bunch of different kinds of minor chords. Let's start on, let's say, this note right here, B flat. So we need to go up 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3. That gives us the note D flat, and then we go up 4 half steps, 2, 3, 4, and that makes a minor chord, the B flat minor chord. Now let's start, say here on F sharp, and we go up 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. F sharp minor. One of the cool things about major and minor chords is once we know all of the notes that belong in a chord, well, there's lots of all of the different kinds of notes on the piano keyboard. We can pick and choose which note we want to play where on the piano. So let's take a C major chord again, for example. Let's say I want to play this C down here, and we also need an E and a G. Let's say I take this G right here and this E right here. This is still a C major chord, even though it sounds really different from that. Now we have this. Your hands are going to limit how far apart you can spread the notes in a chord, but you can go pretty far. Really, we can take the notes of that C major chord and put them in any order that we want to. I could start with the G note here, let's say, and then I go to an E note, and then maybe I have 2 C's on top. I could take the E and I can put that on the bottom. Maybe I'll go to a C next, and then I have C and G here on the top. that's also a C major chord. What makes it a C major chord is not what my hand looks like when I'm playing it. It's the notes that I'm playing. C, E, and G are the notes of a C major chord. So anytime that I'm playing the notes C, E, and G on the piano, it's going to make a C major chord, no matter what order I play them in, no matter whether I'm playing C's with my left hand and E's and G's with my right hand, or the opposite. This is also the same for minor chords as well. So I'll pick the chord A minor, starting on the note A. We get the notes C and E for an A minor chord. I'll take the A in an octave down here. This is a really common thing to do. C and E, I'll spread them out up here on the top. Let's take C, and let's put that on the bottom, and then I'll put A here, and then I'll put E and A on top. I really like how that sounds. And I like it a lot better than that. For me, that sounds boring. But you know, taking that right there, I really like how that sounds. Of course, you can do all of this with any chord. First of all, use the pattern for a major chord or a minor chord to build whatever major or minor chord you want to. Let's say you're playing a song and it's got an F sharp minor chord in it. Well, you find the note F sharp, and then you use the pattern of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 to make a minor chord. Great, now you know what notes you need to play: F sharp, A, and C sharp. Okay, now I'm gonna take maybe my A and put it down here. Maybe I'll take the C sharp and put it down there. Maybe I'll put another F sharp on top. If I'm trying to play a song and I want to try and play it as accurately as possible, I'll try and mix around the notes and try and figure out what order do they sound the best in to where they sound most like the recording of the song that I'm trying to play. This is a lot of information because there are many, many, many major and minor chords, and it takes a long time to memorize all of them. The good part is that you know how to make any major and minor chord that you want to. If you're learning a song, what does the music say to play? Does it say play a G major chord? Does it say play an E flat major chord? Does it say a B flat minor chord or an A flat minor chord? Whatever it says to play, you know how to make that chord now. The most important part of learning chords is using them in songs, learning songs that use them, and learning how to mix around the notes to make some really cool sounds.